by the end of this session, okay, I expect you all to take at least 5 or 6 points and go and do some action. Okay, that's towards the end of the session. So before we come to those points, I'll kind of go through the journey. So the idea of this entire session of today is on the journey of transition. How you're going to transition from your current role into a new role. What are the pitfalls you will come across? How you can be ready for the transition? When will you know you'll be ready for the transition? So these are things we're going to cover because I have gone through this my own journey. I have seen how it has helped me. I have learned the lessons. I thought I'll share with all of you. So stick on with me for the next 30 minutes, and then that should be helpful. Here and there, I'll ask some questions. You can unmute yourself and answer the questions. Until then, let's get started off. So first thing, so what impression does this image give you? The one in front of you. What impression do you get from this image?
Boring.
Boring. Okay, very good. Then what else?
Stuck somewhere in the life. Don't have the idea where he has to go in life.
Correct. So yeah, right. So most of us kind of get this feeling sometimes, right? You kind of see this looks like one software engineer who's sitting in his cubicle making some good salary, and then he still gets the same feeling, right? It's boring over here. We're stuck somewhere. We don't know what to do, right? So then, what does this person want to do? This person, he actually wants to break out of the cubicle, right? So, do you guys get this feeling that you have to break out of the cubicle and go out and do something? Right? Yeah, so Arif is raising his hand. Okay, great. I assume it's a yes, so that's the reason why you guys have chosen this training to come out and learn something. So, the title of this session is like breaking out of the cubicle. So, how you break out of the cubicle and ensure that you land up in a safe place. Not that you break out of the cubicle and go and land up in a wrong place and put yourself in trouble. We don't want that to happen to you. So by the end of session, if you can just follow through with me and know that, okay, these are the 4 or 5 things I need to be aware when I'm doing these things. It's going to actually help you and land in a safe place, right? So sharing my story, I will be initially sharing my story for the next 5-10 minutes, and then probably there'll be some takeaways from this for all of you. And post that, you guys can think, okay, how's it going to benefit you all? Okay. So my journey. My journey kind of started off on transition way back in 2012. Okay. In 2012, like I was working at a company called Dell. You guys might be knowing the Dell laptops, right? I was working there as a software engineer. So I started my journey as software engineer in 2005. I did my engineering electronics and communication in 2001, 2005. So I became a software engineer in 2005. Then I kind of left what I was doing in 2013. Okay, and then now I'm back to the industry working as a program manager, managing software programs. Okay, so what happened in 2013? A little bit back, let's go to 2012. Okay, so in Dell, okay, so I was working as a project lead at Dell Computers, and I actually didn't know like how to lead people. Okay, so I was in a leadership role with 8 years of experience. I had some seniors who were there with me on the project, who were reporting to me. But then I asked my project manager, why are you making me the lead as seniors on the team? So he told that, no, your potential ability to lead the team is better than others. Okay, now that's his thought in that way, but I didn't think in that way, right? I know what was my level of leadership. So I want to improve my leadership skills. So I didn't want to be a manager or leader of a team who would go and make people do things what they don't like to do. I wanted them to kind of come forward and do things. I don't want to be like that kind of boss who's like, okay, when do this, do that, this much time, that much time, which all of us don't like to have. I want to be pretty much a decent leader so that people kind of listen to me and get their work done also. So with this thought in mind, I want to explore what is leadership. Okay, so I began my search on leadership development. What is this? What is that? And still I was not getting answers. Okay. Then one fine day, what happened? We all were having lunch in a small mess near our office. We're coming back, and then on the footpath I saw one book. I saw a book called as the Leader Who Had No Title. Okay, so when I saw this book, The Leader Who Had No Title, I was wondering very much, okay, what is this? Something of leadership and no title? Because what do we associate leadership with? Title, right? A position of a place, power. But then the book says it has no title. My eyes fell on the book and I was keen to buy that book. But as you know, always what happens when you want to do something and people are around you, you'll think, what will they do? these guys will laugh at me. I'm coming with my team. Now I'm the project lead and I have to go and buy something, okay, in front of them. And that is a book on leadership. What do they think? This guy is like worthless. He's our leader. We'll get such leaders only. And it's not going to help me. Okay. So I kind of like, okay, fine. I don't want to buy this book. Let me go. Let that book be there happily. I don't want to invest money on it. Go ahead. I walked few steps. And after a couple of steps, what I saw was that something was still calling me from inside. No, I have to go for that book. See, many times in our lives, okay, we have to take a decision. And most of us don't take that decision thinking that what will others think. Even in your careers, right, in your life, you'll get this inner calling, okay, saying this, yeah, do this. Do what is right and don't do what is easy. Right? Remember this. You might have heard this many times, right? Do what is right, don't do what is easy. So what was right was for me to go and pick that book and read on leadership, in spite of people thinking that, okay, he's not a good leader, he's getting something to read. That is being right, right? So I didn't care about my team. I just told them, you guys go ahead, let me go and buy that book. I went that, bought the second book for like 90 rupees, okay? And then after that, things started changing in my life. Little did I know that my life was going to change for the rest of my life, right? With those 7 steps that I took back to go and buy that book kind of changed me completely. So the reason why I cite this story, right? Start looking into yourself. See what things are happening around you. Is this the time you have to take a decision? Wherein your heart says, okay, fine, go ahead and do it. Okay, so just don't go and do things randomly. But when you get this inner feel like doing things, go and pick it up. Okay, so I went there, I bought that book, and you won't believe, after buying that one book, in that 1 year, I read almost 30 books on leadership. And believe me, I was never a voracious reader. I had never read even my engineering textbooks. Okay, I just bought those Xerox notes, read that for 15 days, passed my engineering with a first class degree. That's it. But I was myself shocked seeing that, what is this, Arham? What have you done to yourself? You bought so many books, and really, I was spending money to buy books. Okay, and I was never a reader. Okay, so that one decision, okay, see what happens in your life, right? You have choices. The decisions you make to choose something, okay, will make your destiny. Your daily choices and the decisions that you're going to make is going to make your destiny. Okay, so that choice for me to go and buy that book from the footpath in front of my friends, okay, not caring about what they think, led me to read so many books. Now, after reading so many books, what do I do? What do I do after reading so many books? Shall I sit in an IT company and kind of just say, okay, fine, I've read this book? Like, see, having these books and the information inside is just information. It is not knowledge. Knowledge is when you benefit and when somebody else benefits from this, right? So all these books in my head is just information. It's not going to benefit anybody else. Okay. Okay, I might take some action. I might do some leadership things as an office. People might get it. But there's a bigger picture on this, right? So when you apply what you have learned in this book, okay, it becomes knowledge. Okay. So now I have to apply this somewhere. Now, what do I do? Okay. So for 1 year, I kind of listened to my heart, and then I thought, okay, this is my calling. I know these things about leadership from these 30 odd books and 30 odd authors. Let me go and talk to people and train them and educate them on leadership. Okay. For this, I launched a project called Spark the Rise and a project called Lead in SparkTheRise.com. We also won the project at national level with 9,000 plus votes. I have the team of my friend Irfan, he was there with me. We went and did so many things together, and we won it at a national level. And believe me, I have never even won a small trophy at school level or college level. What this meant was that when I'm doing something passionately, right, when I'm putting my heart and soul into it, results will come. And believe me, I was not doing anything of such passion in my day-to-day work. If you guys can still do something with a lot of passion in day-to-day work, I would suggest don't leave that stream. Continue doing it. If you're passionate about what you're doing currently right now, don't leave it. Just improve your skills, that's it. Okay, if you're getting results, if you're passionate about it, fine. Continue doing it, don't leave it. Just improve your skills. Okay, so that happened. So what was the moral of the story? In 1 year, I learned about myself. Right? In 1 year, I learned about myself. I want you guys to start introspecting about yourself. You should start learning about yourself. Okay, Arif, you should give me a time check for the last 10 minutes. Okay, fine. Okay. So what happens when you kind of introspect about yourself? You'll find your purpose, right? So what I used to do was every day I used to kind of journal about what is happening in the day. Okay, so the journaling was giving me a lot of clarity. Every morning, get up at 5 a.m., offer your prayers, and then sit down, think, write about a journal, read something. Right. So this was a routine for almost a year. So that 9 to 10 months of writing your journal gave me a lot of clarity. Okay, the reason why I say 9 to 10 months is because that's the reality. It doesn't happen over the night. Right? To get clarity about yourself. Actually, see, I was once in one of the project management sessions wherein one senior trainer came, almost like 65, 70 years old. So he said that people have done so much of advance in science and technology. We are able to go on the moon. Okay, a man can land himself on the moon, but he can't land himself inside himself. A human being doesn't dig inside himself, but he's ready to go on moon also. That is our problem. Start knowing about yourself. Who are you? What can you do? What are your skills? What are your strengths? What are your passions? What is it that makes a meaning to you? How can you make money? Right? See, all this I'm saying is like at the end of the day, I want you to kind of grow in your life, grow in your passion, and make some money. Right? We'll come to that also towards the end. So find your purpose. I'll tell you how to find that towards the end of the session also, right? So when you find your purpose, you get a lot of power. Okay. So I kind of found my power. So a lot of things over here, right? I could speak, I could coach, I could talk, I could learn. So all these were like my powers. I don't know what is yours. Figure it out. Figure it out, right? And then you're gonna get some good results. But I believe this is my stand. Okay, if you don't use your power, you will become powerless. Take it from me. If you don't use your power, you will become powerless. You have the ability to speak, and if you can't speak, you become powerless. You have the ability to stand for something, and if you can't stand, you're powerless. You have the ability to kind of help some people with some money, and if you don't want to help, you're powerless. Okay, so in a nutshell, to summarize it, if you don't use your power, you're going to become powerless. Okay, so with that, within a year, I broke out of the cubicle. Now I was using my power. What did I do? Resign from the industry. Okay, I was married, blessed with 2 kids and only one wife, and I was going to resign from the industry in 2012. Today, God's grace, I've got 4 kids and the same wife. Okay, so point is that I took a decision. Okay, now I am resigning out of the industry. All the risk is on me, but this is not an overnight decision. Remember that 9 to 10 months of writing, journaling, learning those 30 books, reading things. So that was giving me a lot of confidence, right? Self-confidence. That's important. You should get that. So to work on my dream to become an author, speaker, coach, entrepreneur, make a positive difference. So I became many things, right? So most of the time, people that are crazy to leave my software job. Okay, this guy's gone crazy because like the reality is that initial like 8 to 10 months, I was not having any kind of money, and I was an IT guy making a lot of good money. So first 8 to 10 months, my people think, okay, this guy's gone crazy. He's got a software job. But most importantly, my family believed in me. So when you're taking such decisions, right, get a buy-in from your family. It should not be like you find you took some decision, you moved out of the industry, what you're doing good, and suddenly you go there, and then your spouse is also not supporting you. It's not going to become easy, right? Arif and I can always say that because his family has been very supportive. My family has been very supportive. So before I kind of resigned, I took a decision with my wife. I said, okay, fine, it's going to be tough for the next 2-3 years. Told her openly, you should manage. I said, okay, fine, I can support you, right? So what I want to say is, don't think about what your relatives will say, what your cousin says, what your neighbors say, all those things. It is at the end of this, it's you, your spouse, your kids, the inner circle which you're living, right? If they kind of trust you, that's even more motivating. So please get this buy-in from your family before you take any kind of step. Okay, because if you're not getting this, it becomes very difficult for you. Okay, so in 2015, what happened after I left my job? 2013 I left. 2015 I became an author. Right? Yes, I was signing books, autographs. I went to USA. I was giving sessions over there. I was signing autographs. So it was like I was just thinking of Dr. Kalam's quote: "When your signature becomes an autograph, that's the time you get success." Right? So I was thinking, I was feeling so good. So I traveled the world, those things, right? So I went to Los Angeles, Hollywood. I got the best-selling author award. I co-authored the book with Brian Tracy, right? So all this is a part of the journey. So all this is just because of those 7 steps I took back to buy one book. And a decision that I took, okay, fine, let me move out of the industry. And it's not overnight. 2013 I left, 2015, all this is happening. It's almost 2 years. You have to stick on, right? I became a professional speaker. I started going to places. And believe me, and the most important thing, right? I want to tell this, right? See, I was a stammerer. I couldn't even give my English, my engineering Viva questions. I used to stammer a lot. But my weakness became my strength. Ralph Waldo Emerson says that when you can change, your greatest strength comes out of your weakness, right? So I figured it out that I can talk. I was making out money. And this is the same thing that used to inhibit me, that I couldn't talk, right? So God's grace, I was able to speak. I went, I spoke to thousands of students, places, many. I traveled a lot. So I was making out of money, a lot of money out of what I was not able to do initially. Okay, so that's very important. Again, converting your weakness into strength is also very important. But most of the times, it doesn't happen. You should be able to figure out you can do it. Many times people keep beating upon one subject. Let's say somebody is very weak in maths. If he kind of puts 100% effort, not going to improve, he should leave out maths, do something different. Unless and until he's going to become a master. What I'm saying is, don't beat on your weakness. Don't spend more time on weakness, but same the equal amount of time on your strengths. You get good results. For me, this happened because I practiced it and was able to come out of it. Maybe more of like of will part, right? So find out these things. If there is something which you need to overcome, if you can actually overcome, do it. If you can't, don't waste your time on that. Okay. So I became a professional speaker. I became a leadership coach. I was training people on leadership lessons. Hindu newspaper used to call me to go and give sessions. So I did a lot of these things, right? We also went and I kind of trained few IIT students, motivated them how to prepare IIT examination to our trust. So we did all these things as an entrepreneur, right? So this is our team. You can see on my extreme right is Arif standing there. This is like 2015, Arif. 2015, yeah, that's our NGO team. We were a team of like 6 or 7 people who used to go and train students from our NGO called LifeBridge. So we did a lot of making a difference also, right? So not just trying to make some money, we're trying to help people also, right? That's very important. And that's the launch of my book here. So I was thankful for these guys to come out for that. So in a nutshell, your dreams come true only when you get up from the bed and take some action. If you just sit there thinking, okay, this will happen, nothing happens. Okay. Now in the next 7-8 slides, I'm going to give you like 7-8 points. Okay. Make a note of those points. Till now was my story and all those things. Start doing those things, and I'm very sure you guys are going to get benefited. Okay, believe me, it works. If you can take these actions, it will actually work. So how do the dreams become true? Okay, when you do the following, not when I and Arif do these things. Very importantly, who should do? Can you guys give me answers? Who have to do this?
For my dreams, I have to do.
Okay. Okay, I get a thumbs up from Siraj. Okay. So it's like you guys gonna do it, right? It's not we. It's not I or Arif, right? I used to get always this example from one of my mentors. Okay. Nobody can do your push-ups. As simple as that. Only you can do your push-ups, right? So it's you who have to do that. So first and foremost thing, right? Point number 1. Why do you want to do it? Why do you want to transition from a teacher to a trainer, or from a doctor, or you want to become a speaker? You have to understand this. You have to get very good clarity on this. Why I moved out of IT industry at that time was like, I want to go and reach out to people, train them on personal development, all those things, right? I had a very, very strong why. And because I was really passionate about teaching, okay, I couldn't sit and stand and talk for 8 hours and never felt tired. But I was sitting in front of computer for 2 hours, I would get like fatigue. Okay, fine, this is too much. So what is your why? First point is make a note, find your why. Okay. Next, what is your niche? What one niche do you want to go and serve? Like today, if you tell me, right, I can train people on leadership. I can train people on public speaking. I can train college students on campus to corporate. I can train people on mind mapping. I can train people on project management. There are 5 things now. What is my niche? Today I have decided to go and teach people on project management. Other 4 I can still do. But project management is what I have decided as my niche. In 2013, when I started off, it was on leadership development. Okay. Then 2015, I came to public speaking. So I was seeing that was not, I will tell you the reasons why I kind of moved of those niches also. And for the last 4 years, I have been teaching people on project management. That is my niche. You have to figure out your niche. Okay. If there's one particular subject you want to become a trainer in that. So let me ask quickly, okay, if not the final thing that you decide as a niche. So one by one, let's go ahead. So Siraj, if you are being given a chance to become a trainer, so what do you want to train on? Siraj?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you want to train on?
Well,
Yeah. See, if you have still not figured it out, not a problem, but start thinking on these things. Okay. Quickly, next, Sneha. Any answer for this?
I would like to train the teachers how to manage the students, to have a like not to put a lot of pressure on them, I mean, on the teachers themselves and on the students also.
Okay, good. So your niche is on teachers and more on the behaviors and psychology of the students and teachers. So this is how you categorize your niche. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we have Ashraf.
Yeah, I teach medical students, so for them, and also I handle patients. So for myself, so it is also for myself to handle.
Good. Okay. So for medical students, so is it like a trainer you want to be for them, or is it like a speaker? Okay, so you have to decide that. A speaker is more like who does like 40-minute or 1 hour sessions once a while. A trainer is who goes and trains students continuously, right? Maybe 3 to 4 hours a day, or like maybe 15 or 20 hours a week, right? So these things you have to keep in mind. Okay, that's what's aggregate. And we had one more person. She just dropped off, I think. Okay, fine.
We have 10 minutes, Arham sir.
Yeah, sure. No, we can wind it up. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So start finding your niche, right? That's important. Next one. Very, very simple. Read at least 10 books on that subject. Minimum 10 books on whatever you want to go and train or teach your students. Okay. That's how you read 10 books. You have to read minimum 10 books. The reason why I say that is people ask the expert. All the problems that are out there almost have a solution in some of the other book. If you can go back and find out those 10 best-selling books, believe me, see, I have a big vault of books over here, and not even one book is a non-bestseller. I have close to like 150 books in my vault. Okay, all of them are bestsellers. Find out which are the best-selling books on your subject. Read them, make notes, make slides, make PPTs, learn. If you can read, spend time, because people want to ask the expert. In today's world, we don't want to be average, right? We want to go from good to great. You have to become an expert. You may not become expert over the night. Maybe not even after those 10 books. But your day-to-day experience and those 10 books will surely make you at least to start off. Then you can go ahead. Like I started with one book, I went to 30 books. Today I've got like 150 books. And I'm very sure that at least 100 plus have been read. Right? So that's very important. First thing was find your why. Next thing was find your niche. Next thing was 10 books, 10 bestsellers. Okay. And believe me, buy those books and keep it. Don't give it to anybody else. People will come and ask you books, tell them to go and buy it. Okay, let them buy if they want it. You don't lend. No, I never lend a book. I never lend a book from my library. I ask people to go and buy it. Else I'll give them. I'll buy and give them a book because this is my reference. Okay, and probably I would leave this legacy for my children if they want to read it. Right. So this is one of the best legacies that you can leave your kids also. Right. Your books, your knowledge, those things. So buy read those 10 books. Right. Next one. I want to recommend 3 books for you. Okay, since you're coming into the training industry, I would suggest these 3 books are very, very important for you. Okay, first and the foremost thing, buy this book. Okay, let me admit, Sanita. Okay, Start with Why by Simon Sinek. It's a very lovely book. Buy this book. It's almost like 200, 300 page book. Take a week's time, read out. You'll get a strong reason why you have to start doing what you're doing. The first question they put you, right? Why do you want to do it? Then find a niche and then read those 10 books. So apart from those 10 books, okay, these are separate 3 books I'm recommending for you, which I felt in my last 7 years of experience. These books have been very, very important for anybody who wants to transition. First is read this book called Start With Why from Simon Sinek. Okay, it will get it on Amazon or Flipkart, anywhere you'll get the book. Next book. Okay, this is a classic book. It's called The Quick and Effective Way for Public Speaking by Dale Carnegie. This book was written in 1935. Okay, it is just a very small book. It's very, very small. Yeah, I have it here with me. Okay, so this is the book. This is the first book I read on public speaking. And believe me, after you read this book on public speaking, you don't need to read any other book. Because all the books have taken what points he's given over here. I have nearly like 11 or 12 books with me on public speaking. Everybody kind of points back to what he's telling in a different way. The reason why I say public speaking is important, because from your classroom, you're going to go to big places, big stages. See, there is a way to teach, 5 minutes. There is a way to teach 40 people. There is a way to teach 400 people. There is a way to teach 1 hour class. There is a way to teach 8 hour sessions. There is a way to teach 40-minute sessions. All that will get in this book. Your job as a communicator, remember this, your job as a communicator is to take something very complex and simplify it. Your job as a communicator is not to take something complex and make it more complicated. Many times teachers say that when students ask, sir, you didn't understand. Then they say, yeah, you'll not understand. It is your job to take something complex, simplify it, and give it to your audience. This book will actually help you with that, okay? Buy this book, it's worth buying it, right? Next one. This is also a very lovely book, The Think and Grow Rich. Okay, this was my second book, right? It gives you a strong reason why you have to do something, and it will give you like 13 steps. If you follow those 13 steps, you are very surely going to become successful. You can read this book over a period of like month or 2 months, step by step, and start doing things. It is a very lovely book. And again, this is a 1935 bestseller. It was written after the Great Depression, and many Americans read this book and they become millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires also. Just apply that book. This was Bruce Lee's favorite book. For him to become the highest paid actor in the world, he says this is the book. Just follow those 13 steps. That's more than enough for you. That's it. Those 3 are the recommended books. I hope you are making notes. Probably Arif might share it to these things. Okay. Probably I'll share these slides with Arif, or he might email it to you all.
Yes.
Very important things. You know both will and skill. The first 10 books are your skill. The next 3 books are your will. If you have skill and no will, you can't do things. If you have will and no skill, you can't do things. Both have to go hand in hand. Okay. Remember the seesaw. The seesaw is balanced and both skill and will are balanced, not just one. Very importantly, I'm coming to those end session. Find your passion, but a passion that pays is a worthy passion. When you go and train, somebody should pay you some money. Right? It's like your passion should bring you ration also. Remember that. Okay. So this quote is from the LinkedIn founder Reid Hoffman. Okay, a passion that pays is a worthy passion. So find out there should be a market for what you're doing, and then you should be able to do it. So very, very important. Listen to us, not just your head or your heart. You should listen to both of them. Okay, your heart may say, okay, let me leave everything, then start doing something. It doesn't work out. Right? So I listen to my heart, I leave my job, I started training students. So after 3 years, I realized nobody's kind of paying me good money. Then I switched to project management. My mind says, here money is there, you can still teach, go and do that. For the last 4 years, I've been doing that. So listen to both head and heart. Okay, coming to last slide. So my passion pays me now. This is my YouTube channel, which I started off some time back. Now I have YouTube also approved my monetization. Okay, my videos are there. I've got like 3,000 plus subscribers. It's going on good. I have actually helped like 70 plus people pass the PMP examination, which is currently one of the tough examinations, right? So now my passion is kind of paying me. So at the end of story, when you start working on a passion, when you become a trainer and teacher, my dear friends or students, right, your passion should pay, right? That is our end goal. That is the end goal of what I and Arif want our students to achieve. When you do something, this has to actually pay, right? And last thing, there are no shortcuts. If somebody is coming to say, okay, fine, within a month you'll make so much, in 5 months. No, please don't fall into that trap. There are no shortcuts. That's the last thing I'm saying. Let me summarize once again what all I have told you. Find your why, find your niche, read 10 books, become an expert, read those 3 recommended books for your will. It is a skill plus will thing, right? Then listen to both head and heart. Then a passion that pays you is very important. Lastly, but nothing, no shortcuts. Okay. Wish you all success. That's me, Arham Faraaz. Thank you all for joining my session. It's just 1.5 minutes left. Any questions I can take up? Else we are good to go. I'll share the last 10 slides with Arif so that you guys can go and what you have to plan. Any questions, guys? Fine, I'll give it back to Arif. I'll stop sharing. Thank you all for all this opportunity.
Thank you so much.
I wish you all
Arham,
success. Sure. I hope this was beneficial.
Yeah.
And please follow what I have told you, those 7 points. Start getting to work on this. Lay out a plan. It's not like one day thing. It will take you some time, at least some 6 to 7 months. Become an expert in those 6 to 7 months, and then you're going to help yourself a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much, Arham sir. We would like to extend our heartfelt thanks for your time and for your valuable inputs. Thank you so much once again from me and from my participants and my students as well. Okay, thank you so much.
Arif, if you have recorded this, share me the link.
I have recorded this.
Great.
I'll do that. Okay?
Probably put it on my channel. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sure.
Thank you all. Yeah,
don't show it to your wife.
Bye-bye.
Because you have told only one wife. So
thank you. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Yeah. Fine. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm just dropping off. Bye-bye.
You all.
Connect with you later, Arif. Thanks, Asha. Sure. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
So guys, yeah, now let's have the task. The task here is, don't have enough time. Okay,